Hello again, everyone. Saki here, and welcome back to NASCAR Racing 2003 season, the 22 mod by Full Circle Racing Designs, and we are here for 27 laps at Miami-Dade Homestead Motorsports Complex Racing Facility, Tire Lube, and Gift Center. And we had a terrible qualifying run, as you can see behind the 47 in our number 39 X4 Tides of Avarice Camaro. And Brandon is about 10 rows up on the inside in that 27 A-Shock Toyota. Kyle Busch, with his first pole of the year, puts that Interstate Batteries Toyota on point. So we'll see what we can do here, waiting for the green flag, and we are racing here at Homestead. So they had a little bit of a shorter gear. Up to fourth gear will be on the inside here, following Eric Jones down on the bottom. And we'll see if this car behaves a little bit better than it did in qualifying, right on that white line under Eric Jones. We'll complete that down the back straightaway. We'll get behind Chris Buescher, try to roll that outside around the 47. Oh, dive bomb by Eric Jones, throws it in deep on that white line. Car's jockeying for position, going from high to low. Normally the extreme high line is the way to go, right up against the wall rim ride and get that momentum down the straightaway, but we're kind of boxed in behind the 17, lost the nose, washed up, using all the racetrack here, getting passed by the 31, and this is not a position that we need to be in, and I just feel out to lunch this race. Not really feeling Homestead car is not in the racetrack. We might have to make an adjustment on our pit stop, which will be coming at about the halfway mark, around lap 13 or so. And the question, of course, would be, do we go for 2 or do we go for 4 and try to get track position? And usually 2 tires only works out if you have the car to stay up front with 2 tires, and we are just sliding all over the place, can't get the power down. The 38 of Todd Gillen to our inside. Drive that outside, try to get that line hooked up. Get that run on Justin Haley. And we do get a bit of a run, but we're stalled out right by the wall. We'll stay in line. And I don't know if we need to go up top 3 wide and try to ride the rim. But we're carrying some decent speed down the back straightaway now, getting the pull off the 42 of Ty Dillon in the middle 3 wide. Leaders are starting to break away just a bit. And in the middle 3 wide worked out for us as Haley rolled out, but we lost the nose a bit behind Bubba Wallace. And get that run past Todd Gillen. So the high line is pretty fast comparatively when you're racing against cars on the bottom. Timmy Hill to the outside of the 77 of Balicki, leading that charge on the outside. Michael McDowell right up to the wall. You could say he is rim riding. And cars starting to feel a little bit better on the bottom. We could hold that white line and gain some speed right on that bottom, right behind Bubba. Goes down to block, all the way down to the hot dog stand, coming back up the track. And we'll see if we can get the crossover done here, keep the air on the nose, passing Timmy Hill, and we are clear to the outside and single filing out. So now we can choose our battles a little bit better, not have to be driven high or low. We can go where we need to. And picking up the throttle as early as we can, touching that apron, getting out to the wall and carrying that speed. We should get to the outside of Bubba Wallace here and roll that outside with the 42 and the 34. With McDowell out there, we might get a pull, but Balicki throws it in, and that's where we're losing all of our time on corner entry. And I've never really been good on corner entry, and it seems like entry is the way to go here. Oh, and Bubba almost gets into the 42. Ty Dillon had to move up a bit, get shoved up the racetrack. We'll try to take advantage, get to the middle. Oh, touch the 42 a bit. We'll stay in line here. And the leaders are just picking them up and laying them down. I do not know where that speed is. Got a little bit of a run on the 42. Had to crack the throttle a little bit to keep from sliding the nose. But we should get down to that inside and complete the pass on Ty Dillon. BJ MacLeod gets shuffled out under Alex Bowman. We will indeed get the pass done and out to the wall behind Chris Buescher, where we were a moment ago. Really driving it in there, trying to get our entry set, try to get these tires nice and warm. And the leader's going into turn 3 right there. So pretty well strung out now early in the running. Pit stops may bring us all back together, and of course the yellow would really bring us all together. Under the 77 and the 48 of Bowman, looking racy up front, as well as Christopher Buescher. Under the 78, thinks better of it, gets back in line and single file all the way through. Does Balicki roll out here on corner exit? Nope, Balicki fights back hard on that outside line. Will just barely clear him going into turn 3. And we'll see if we can gain some momentum here if they have to check up for each other. We don't. And we'll gain some time on these guys. Bubba still blocking right down to the bottom, following BJ MacLeod, and MacLeod almost slides up into the 43. These guys are really close together. Only a game of inches before someone gets turned, and hopefully it isn't us. Down to the inside again and try to get that run on the 23. Choked up behind the 17. Bubba will move down to block, and will carry that speed to the outside, try to push Chris Buescher. And we're on the outside, however, Bubba's going to drive it in, slide up just a skosh. And we're going to lose all of our speed in the middle of the corner, and here comes Balicki fighting back. This is certainly not a position I'm used to being in. Hard racing back here for 35th, I tell you what. Good run on the bottom. Bubba blocking will go to the inside and have to roll out. Lose all of our momentum down the straightaway. Just cannot get around these guys. Balicki fighting back on that outside. If he gets a fender out there, we won't be able to get out to the wall like we did there. Carry a lot of speed and finally get under Chris Buescher. Bubba might be our the hole plower here. If he can get up to Eric Jones and start moving him out of the way, we'll be able to follow Bubba through. Finally get that pass done. Balicki takes advantage on the inside of Buescher. Oh, and loose on corner entry, about lost it there. Had to get out of the gas ever so slightly to catch it. I'm looking at McDowell. Maybe he can slow things up a bit. Jones looking to pass on that inside. That'll help us out if they get stuck side by side. And those guys down there at the bottom are really trying to make something work down there. We'll try to get a better entry arc in. We'll gain a little bit of time on them. But it seems we just don't have the drive off the corner to really make up any time here. A nice gaggle of cars up in front. They were 2x2. But they'll probably get themselves sorted out by the time we get up there. But we are leaving Balicki behind just a little bit. Get the run back on the high side. See if we can get down to the bottom. Get the air taken off of our nose just a bit. Wash up. And Chase Briscoe up to the top now. Not sure what Chase's plan is up there. If he drops back, more power to us. Christopher Bell up top of Harrison Burton as well. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is actually making up some time. And those guys have really stretched it out in that lead group. We need a caution, or we might even go a lap down here. Just no speed on entry or exit, really. They're just a little bit faster than we are on both ends of the racetrack. Let's see if we can follow Jones. Jones pushes up the 34. We slide the nose. Really bad aero tight behind the 23. And there's a car below Bubba. Jones really blocking down there to the bottom. That is crazy. Jones slides up in between the 23 and 34. Trying to carry that run as best we can. Get the run down off the top of the hill, but not quite close enough to make a move. Let's get slowed down for pit stops. We want to be the first to pit last. Oh, about missed it. Brandon on pit road as well. So we gained a bit of time on Brandon there. Here comes our pit stall. We'll be throwing some tires on this thing and filling up. Let's go, boys. A little bit of damage to be fixed. I didn't tell them to not fix the damage. We did get into the wall, but right side's only for Brandon and I. Going one lap down now, waiting for them to cycle through 3,000 in second gear, and this feels like an eternity when you're on pit road. Waiting for those green cones, and let's use that access road best to our ability. Looking in the mirror, there's no one there, so everyone did cycle past us, and we need to be on the lookout for anyone coming to pit road soonish. And I have completely lost Brandon. I have no idea where he was. He might have got down the access road in first gear, not sure. But overall, just slower than everybody. Looking to the left, and everyone else is on pit road. We'll be getting our lap back here. And as we come back around, they will be for position. So we need to run hard, make sure that these are the best laps that we put in all day to make this strategy work. I don't know where we're going to come out here, but there is Balicki and Bubba. So despite us coming into pit road really, really quick, we actually lost quite a bit of time. Car really loose there, looking to the left, getting our lap back from these guys. Or no, these guys will be for position here. So there is Busher and Briscoe. So we made up a lot of time on Briscoe and a lot of time on these guys as well on the 42. So the 77 perhaps. Oh, Suarez really slow. Let's go to the top. Oh, Suarez slides up. Ooh. Barely made it through there, and I think everyone has cycled through, so we'll get to re-rack them, and I think everything will be for position. Let's take a look at what caused Daniel Suarez to be so slow. So lap 21, Suarez at full song going down into turn 3, and he just slams on the brakes, 80 miles an hour, trying to get it slowed down. I don't know if he had a tire go down or what, but there's Harrison Burton into him. We go sliding right to the outside. So Harrison Burton makes the first contact there. Austin Dillon with nowhere to go into Jones and McDowell. We fly by on that outside. That had to be close, but several cars involved. There's the 38 continuing to wreck. Ty Dillon, Eric Jones down at the bottom, Justin Haley, and the track is closed. At half speed as we go around the outside, there's Suarez. It was just that close. There goes McDowell behind us, and we made it through without a scratch. Probably the best thing that's happened all day. Getting ready for the restart. One lap to go. It'll be a green and white together. Brandon leads the field over Ryan Blaney and Kyle Busch, William Byron, and Kevin Harvick waiting for that green and white to come out. Green, green, green. White is in the air. And we'll see if we can make up just a spot. We want a top 20 out of this. Down the inside of Bubba Wallace, Brandon fighting on the low side. Ryan Blaney with a head of steam on the outside. Kyle Busch following in the bottom. And it's going to be a drag race. William Byron to the inside, looking at the bottom, 3 wide. I can't see the leaders now. We just have to hold what we got. Brandon fighting with Ryan Blaney. Blaney gets washed up the track. William Byron to the inside. We lose the nose. And we will lose that spot to Corey LaJoie, but it is going to be a drag race for the finish line. And at 1/3 speed coming off the final corner, there's William Byron and Brandon side by side coming to the line. Blaney up top trying to make it happen. And that was close. But with a walk-off win, William Byron by inches. You can see the front of William Byron's car at the back of the line. Brandon's front is only halfway through the start-finish line. So a game of inches. William Byron takes the win. Brandon comes across the line in second. Ryan Blaney third. Who ended up getting fourth through all of that? Eric Almirola, perhaps? Kyle Busch in fourth. Eric Almirola in fifth. Sixth place, Kevin Harvick. 7th place, Joey Logano. 8th place, Kurt Busch. 9th place, Kyle Larson. And rounding out your top 10 is Tyler Reddick. We come across the line in 22nd place, unfortunately. Denny Hamlin comes across the line in 13th. And Chase Elliott, the last of your round of 8, comes across the line in 12th. So let's watch that last lap and see how William Byron went from 4th to 1st. Brandon with a good turn 1 and 2, but Ryan Blaney got to that outside quick. And we saw William Byron make the move on the bottom 3 wide and almost 4 wide. He gets under Kyle Busch with a massive run out of nowhere, and Brandon drives it in deep and got the car upset just a little bit, scraped the bottom, forcing Blaney up top, and that allowed William Byron the run to the bottom, and it was just that close. So the standings after Miami, we made it through off of the Vegas win. William Byron makes it in on the Miami win, and Brandon 69 nice points ahead. Guarantees that he is going to be in on points no matter who wins in Martinsville. Joey Logano, your cutoff driver, 2 ahead of Larson, 4 over Hamlin, 9 over Harvick, and Elliott looking like a long shot, 16 points out, but we head to the paperclip next week for Martinsville. But like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for the final race in the round of 8 at Martinsville. Take care.